What's up, guys? Dave with Miracle Canine Training out here with another video for you guys. So I wanted to take a minute. We just filmed a nice video with Vinny on sending to the bed here, and it got me thinking, I don't talk enough about the markers that we're using and the importance of those markers that we're using. So first off, what are markers, right? Markers are any sort of cues that you use to create information, right? Or to give clarity behind stuff. So for example, if you want to tell the dog yes, right? Have you taught that marker to predict something positive, right? If you're using no, have you taught that marker to predict something negative? If you're using okay, have you taught that that means for the dog to release, et cetera, et cetera. So what I want to do is I want to quickly demonstrate the couple of markers that I use with my dogs here, and I want to talk about the meaning that they have here, and kind of show you kind of how they work here. So we will start with our positive markers here. So I have two markers that I utilize positively. I have good, which is a stationary marker. Good means I like what you're doing, continue doing it, and I may or may not bring a reward to you. So for example, Vinny, come. If I give this dog a command and I tell him bed, I can tell him good, and that good identifies you've done the correct thing. Now, I may come to you and give you a reward, but you need to hold your position in order to utilize it, right? Or in order to get that reward. So if he got up at this point, he would be incorrect. It doesn't terminate the behavior, right? The other option that I have, Vinny, come, is I have my yes marker, right? So in this case, he's predicting this. So my other marker that I have is my yes marker. This is a terminal marker. This means it ends the behavior. So if I want to get quick repetitions in, like in the case of sending to the bed, the video that we just filmed, what I would do is I would utilize that yes marker signifying you did it, now come and get it, right? You did the command, now come and get some sort of reward from me. So demonstrating this, Vinny, come. Vinny, bed. Yes. You see that mark signifies you did it. Now you're going to get a reward from me. So you'll see that he comes to me to access that reward, and at that point he is no longer in command, right? My third marker I have here, so those are my two positive ones. My third one is more of a neutral mark, right? It just means you're free. So in this case, Vinny, foos. Hey, foos. Good. If I'm walking, I could tell him, okay. And okay just means he's free to do whatever he wants to do. If he wants to sniff around or run to the bed or go and, off and do whatever, that's totally fine. So okay is just a release. It means nothing more. There's absolutely no expectation past that. If he puts himself into command or just continues sniffing around looking for snacks or anything, again, that's completely fine, right? So my final marker here is my no marker, right? So this marks an incorrect choice. So for example, if I'm over here, Vinny, come. No. So prime example right there. Vinny, come. Good boy. Okay. So prime example right there. I told him come, right? He was busy sniffing around, so I marked with no. I took my e-collar and I gave a tap on my e-collar. And you'll notice that no marker in itself signifies a negative response, right? It should immediately snap him out of whatever he's doing because it predicts something negative happening, right? So in the case of whatever, I could call him over to me, and if he jumps up on me, no. Notice that mark in itself teaches him that he did something incorrect right there, right? It has that negative connotation, so the word in itself has the value, right? The reason why these markers are so important is because without markers, you have that's your communication, right? Once you have that communication established, you could use it to work through any sort of behavioral issues that you're having with your dog, right? And another important part here is people talk a lot about the tools, they talk about the food, they talk about the e-collar, the leash, whatever it may be. And I always remind people is these marks and these tools that we're using are extensions of what we're already doing. So I could do everything that I just did there, right? I could put him on the bed, Vinny, bed, and I can not say anything and go up and give a reward, right? And then I could just, teach him to come with me without any sort of release command, right? Or I could just give a correction when he jumps on things, and you're gonna kind of get there, right? Your dog's gonna get partially, or part of the information because something positive is happening, something negative is happening, this and that. But the problem is they're gonna be reliant on the tool. This is ultimately what did that, where in my case, when I say, yes, that should signify in itself something positive is gonna happen. Before that, I still haven't given him anything, right? Before that positive thing even happens, right? So making sure that we're getting that connection and that correlation between the markers is so essential. So making sure that you're spacing them out and making sure that you're focusing on your verbal cues, and then those things, those verbal cues predicting those positive or negative things happening is essential, right? You have to make sure you're focusing on those things. It could be anything. It could be sit, no, sit, yes, right? I focused on the verbal side of things, and then I focused on giving my reinforcers after that. They still come, but the verbal comes before they come, right? And what's gonna happen is that's going to assist you greatly in your training and your communication with your dog overall, and you're gonna get yourself more confident in your ability to handle your dog. So quick little rant here talking about markers and stuff like that. I have some blog posts and stuff I've written about this that I'll try to link into this, and I'll try to discuss them in a little bit more detail later on, but that's like a crash course into markers and how they work, and me demonstrating them with my exhausted dog who just finished a very intense training session. So hope that helps, hope that clarifies some things. Obviously, if you guys have any questions, let us know, but focus on these things, focus on these things, focus on these things. We'll see you next time.